On today's episode of The Rugged Homestead, we're going to be doing indoor composting, a perfect solution for organic gardeners who want to continue recycling their kitchen scraps during the winter. We'll be using just a few simple tools and appliances for this activity. A high-speed blender, though a regular one would work okay too. A 5-gallon bucket. This one I got from my local bakery. They have frosting and eggs delivered in them, so they're food grade and make perfect storage containers. Your food scraps, which are frozen, and a hammer and chisel or a screwdriver, like I'm using here to break apart the frozen scraps. The secret to composting indoors is to freeze your kitchen scraps. Because I'm not actively composting regularly, being able to save the scraps for when I need them is essential. So I take the scraps I save up in a container and dump them into a small plastic shopping bag and place them in a deep freezer in my basement until I've saved up enough to make a full bucket of compost. What I've since discovered is this is a great solution for composting during the regular gardening season as well, because it helps break down the food scraps more quickly. I used to find banana peels, orange rinds, eggshells, and more still completely, almost whole, even months later on. By freezing them and then grinding them down, they decompose much more quickly, even within just a few weeks' time, if not sooner. So when I've accumulated enough scraps to make a bucket of compost, I remove them from the freezer and begin the process. And that's where the hammer and chisel comes in. Although most of the time you can break apart the frozen scraps by hand, other times you'll find they'll need a little bit of encouragement. They've frozen together solid, and a whack with the hammer and chisel or screwdriver helps them come apart. The next thing you're going to want to do is load up the blender with the food scraps. You're not going to want to start blending them right away, but rather pulse them to get the process started of breaking them down. Once you've got them started, you can turn the blender on and then grind them up so you get a consistency like this. The next step is to grab your bucket and throw in a good handful or two of the soil that you use. I use the soil from my garden. It's already rich in compost material and has a lot of the bacteria in it that's going to be necessary for breaking down the food scraps. I then add the food scraps to the dirt and build up a good layer about 1 inch or 2 thick before moving on to the next step, which would be to add alternating layers of sawdust on top of this, and then another layer of dirt, and then more food scraps on top of that. I then fill up the bucket using alternate layers of food scraps, sawdust, and dirt until the bucket is full. I then place a lid on top of it, put it to the side, and then every couple of days, I give it a good stir to aerate the dirt and allow the bacteria to continue its aerobic decomposition. After a couple of weeks' time, this is the result. Nice, dark compost, ready to be used in the garden come springtime. And there you have it. A pretty simple process all in all, right? I ended up getting about 4 5-gallon pails worth of compost out of it. It reduced down to about 2. I combined them together. But over the course of the winter, I had 4 pails going all at once. Not bad. I'm already producing the waste, so may as well put it to good use. And I've got something enriching for the garden now. Help out the vegetables when they grow. If you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments section below what you think about indoor composting during the winter time. Thanks for watching. So, if you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below if you, what the hell? Ended up getting about 4 buckets worth of compost out of it. Those are the 5-gallon buckets. And when it decomposes. Subscribe to the channel And let me know in the comments section below what you think about indoor gardening, indoor composting in the wintertime.